Hello, I'm Dark Shades of Dark Shades Counselling on YouTube, and I really talk about topics that hopefully reduce your stress and help you deal with certain situations. So this is a quick video, and it's about going to Jamaica. If any, I'm not quite sure if the same subscribers I have on this channel are the same subscribers I have on my Blackbright news channel. So I'm just making sure I cover all, all, whatever it is, you know what I mean. Anyway, I can't think of the word right now, and I'm not going to force it. So, thumbs up if you like my channel, thumbs down if you don't, share and subscribe. Not everyone some people like people who are official and who are proper. I'm not one of those. I'm just an ordinary person offering information that I think people will find useful. Now, what's happened is, as some of you may know, Jamaica's opened its borders and to people in the UK. They've closed it before because our cases had shot through the roof and deaths had shot through the roof with 150,000 cases. Now, because 21%, I think, of our population has been vaccinated, Jamaica is now saying, you can come over now. All you UK international travellers, you can come over, providing you follow the COVID health and safety protocol. What is the health and safety protocol? I would assume that you've had 2 vaccinations, so you've got your vaccination passport. I guess it's proof of vaccination. I'm not quite sure how they're proving to people whether or not they've had their vaccinations, because I've had 2 vaccinations and I've got no proof. So I don't know how people are supposed to prove that they've had their 2 vaccinations, apart from one little dege card that they can give to any and anybody, and anybody could walk around with it and say they've had the vaccination. So it has to be a bit more than that. So that's not even enough. It's not even enough that you've been vaccinated. You have to have a PCR test. Can you imagine? When if for those people who are leaving UK and going to Jamaica for a holiday, when they come back to England, they're still going to have PCR proof. That's 2 proofs of testing that you've been tested, that you haven't got the coronavirus, and the tests are negative. One on the 2nd day, one on the 8th day. So, and those cost of those tests are £200 each. And you're very, very likely you're going to still have to stay in that quarantine hotel that you've been trying to avoid. That's going to cost you £1,750. So, really and truly, all they're saying now is that, yes, you can go, but when you come back, you're going to be penalised for going. So do they really want you to travel? If they really wanted to boost the economy, they would allow it to be much easier. They would have lifted all of these testings, and to make it worse, the people who are testing, the mandated companies who are doing the test, they're not even regulated. And so because they're not regulated, people are paying all this money to get their test, and that's $400 minimum a person. If you're leaving from a green zone and England ain't green, and you're going to Jamaica and Jamaica ain't green, that's a minimum of £400 because it's 1 test. Well, yeah, 1 test per person. So if you're going with someone else. If you're going from an amber zone, I think Jamaica may be amber. I'm not quite sure. England is very likely to be amber. You have to have 2 tests, which is £400 a piece. And that's for every person. One on the 2nd day, like I said, and the other on the 8th day. So, you know, really and truly, you're being penalised for travelling. I don't think they want people to travel. If they did, they wouldn't incur these travel taxes. So it's good in one way that you can actually go, but who's got a couple of grand to pay when they come back, i.e. the money for the hotel and the money for the COVID tests? Who's got that? Anyway, all I'm saying is you need to check www.gov, that's G for golf, O for Oscar, V for Victor.uk. Find out all you can about the travel requirements from the country you're leaving, which is in this case the UK, to the country you're going to, which will be Jamaica. Because getting there might be fine. Everybody goes, you leave here, you're happy, you're packed, you've got your ticket, You go to Jamaica, you have a nice time, you have your bammy, you have your jelly coconut, you have your mango, you have your fried fish, you have your butterfish, you have all sorts. You have your jerk pork, your jerk chicken. Did I say pork? Yeah. You have all of that. But when you're at your most exhilarated, and then you have to think about coming back to the UK, who's got 400 quid to pay for the COVID test to make sure you didn't pick it up in Jamaica? Who's got 1,750 to stay in a hotel? We ain't got that kind of dosh. So all I'm saying is check it out thoroughly before you leave. Make sure you've completed your locator form. Make sure you've done the necessary. Find out the criteria. Find out what Jamaica needs before you go into it, because that you might pay your money to go to Jamaica and there might be some stipulations that prevent you from getting in. Likewise, make sure you've done the same on your way back, because what might happen if you haven't done the necessary, i.e. the COVID test and the filling up the right forms, you might find that 10-day quarantine turns into a 14-day quarantine. 14-day quarantine, more dosh for the government. So all I'm saying is be careful, peeps. Read all the small print. Don't spend money unnecessarily. Check out your facts before you go. Speak to your travel agent. Find out exactly what is required of you. Travel agents, they just want your dosh, love. They don't care once you get there. Once they get your money, they don't care, because what they're going to say to you is, you should have read the small print. It's not for us to tell you. You should have done your research. So then you're going to ask them, they might leave out vital bits. Also, there's supposed to be certain insurances. You have to get specific insurances. Ones that are COVID related. There are some that say if you catch it while you're in the country, you're not covered. Some say you are covered, and they've got all different kinds of insurances. I mean, people are exploiting this thing. So just make sure. Maybe you just want to put your holiday on hold. You've been waiting a year. What's another 6 months between friends? Rather than fork out all this dosh and you can't get it back, or fork out money for insurances, goodness knows how much they cost, and you're in the same boat. Can't get help or whatever. Or you're penalised, or you have to fork out money. I think that's all. I'm not going to go into it. And also what I'm thinking is, now that Jamaica is accepting international travellers from England, they're probably open their doors for deportees. So all those deportees that couldn't get to come out of the country, they'll be flooding back. So I think that is all. Jamaica's had 1.5 million visitors since it opened its gates last June. And of course, it looks like they're looking for more. They've had 45,414 cases, 717 deaths, and they vaccinated 135,000. We're assuming that they've had their second dose. So just make sure you've had both doses before you decide to travel. Ask when you have your second dose, how do you prove that you've had your dosage if you're going to travel? What evidence are they giving you? Because I would have thought you'd need something with a picture on it, your photo on it, and a government mandated document, rather than that little piece of card that they give you that just tells you what batch the vaccination come out of. So find out what zone Jamaica is. It, like I said, it might be amber. It's probably amber, hopefully. You better hope it's not red. And what zone we are. I think we're probably amber too. And yeah, that's it for now. Bye-bye.